Trae Young. Washington traded for him probably 2 months ago now, right? It was probably January when that went down.
Yeah.
Because it was the same day they announced Blau got hired, I believe. I'm just thinking I was in the Trae Young presser, and then I had to stick around to do a David Blau hit, and I thought Derek was messing with me, and he wasn't. Trae Young gets traded here, and we had Chris Miles on. We've talked to enough people. It seemed like the situation with him in Atlanta had completely devolved. That was no longer salvageable. And from the NBA people we've talked to, it didn't seem like there was a big market for Trae Young. And Washington made the trade to go get him. And he's a hell of a player when he's healthy.
Yeah, totally.
There's questions, but there's questions about just about everybody that's not named Durant or LeBron. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one thing I've noticed with Trae Young, I noticed it that night at the presser, but more so subsequently, he seems into it. He seems like he's really locked into this team. Like, just the little stuff, like wearing the Ovi jersey. He wore the Iverson jersey one game. He's on the bench with these guys, I think just about damn near every game.
Until he wasn't.
So the news comes out yesterday that Trae Young is going to play Thursday night against the Jazz, which is exciting in and of itself, just to see that dude in a Wizards uniform. Then last night, he gets thrown out of the game. He gets thrown off the bench because he kind of went nuts on the sideline, and I kind of love it. Like,
I have no problem. Listen, man, if you sit on the sideline, whether you're playing or not, a referee going to piss you off. They do, and the NBA referees, oh boy, they're some obnoxious dudes. They basically think they are the story.
right.
A lot of them do. So, yeah, every once in a while, I would want to tell them where to get off.
Right.
I'll send them a lot of one-finger salutes.
That's your favorite salute.
Yeah.
But my thing for Trae Young, he hasn't played here for a minute. But
He hadn't played.
you're really showing you have your young teammates back, because the foul was also nuts. Like, he was correct in how adamant and upset he was in the moment. And then he sent out a tweet. So let's acknowledge getting thrown off the bench in street clothes is pretty ridiculous. But in a season where the goal isn't winning, it's about maintaining a level of bad so you get a top pick. But even more than that, it's about these young guys coming together. Growing,
Yeah.
seeing there's something for the future. I think in that moment, Trae Young getting thrown out kind of shows, like, I'm with you guys. Like, this is real.
Yeah.
He sent a tweet out last night. Don't expect me to get ejected too many more times, DC, but I'm definitely bringing that energy and competitiveness when I'm back for my brother.
You know why he's saying that? Because when you get ejected, you know what else you get? Fined. So don't expect me to get fined a lot. Hell no. I'm with you. I'm going to bring some energy, but I'm not trying to get thrown out the game.
So the Wiz ended up losing last night to the Rockets. They've lost 5 in a row. They're now 6.
They covered.
They sure did. They're now 16-44. The two teams in the East with the worst record, the Nets and the Pacers, each have 15 wins. Out West, I believe it's just the Kings have fewer wins. Yeah, the Kings are 14-48. So that is 3 teams with the worst record.
2-3 years ago, Sacramento was like that little young team.
I think they were the 1
we were
seed.
discussing, bro.
Remember they were like lighting the beam or whatever?
Yeah, and they fell off quickly.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
What was the guard? They had a guard there who was playing his butt off. I don't think he's on that team no more.
Was that Fox? Was De'Aaron Fox there?
I don't know if it was De'Aaron.
I remember because they also
another
had,
dude that was balling there.
they had the white kid from Maryland, Herter, was just drilling
Heard
threes.
shoot some threes.
You're right. That Kings team was like, oh, what do they got here? And they didn't have it for long. Whatever they had.
Yeah, they got off of that quick.
I feel like the Kings haven't really been relevant since White Chocolate was throwing lobs up to Chris Webber and Peja was making every jumper in sight. Was it the Maloofs? Is that who were the owners that also owned the casinos in Vegas and stuff?
What's that, Mirage?
No, they owned the Palms, maybe?
Yeah, Palm. That's
Dude,
right, Palm.
think about back then, it was like a really big deal that there was an NBA owner that also had ownership of a casino. Now they're about to put a team in Vegas.
Now everybody's involved with some level of gambling.
Right.
All these owners.
But, dude, it was the 22-23 season. They went 48-34. They finished first in the Pacific. I don't know if they were first in the West, but there was everybody's like, oh, man, this Kings team is coming. Spoiler alert, that did not last. Dude, it was De'Aaron Fox. Was there. Fox? It was De'Aaron Fox was really, really good. De'Aaron Fox, was it Herter? Yeah, Kevin Herter, Alex Len. They had a pair of Terps on that team. Mm-hmm. Gosh, remember when Maryland had pros? Sabonis from Gonzaga was on that team. It was a fun team, but I think they lost in the first round. Regardless, Trae Young has shown this level of buy-in to the Wizards that has me genuinely excited to watch them.
Yeah,
especially Thursday night. Now the Wiz play again tonight. They're on a back-to-back. Houston last night at home. They're traveling to Orlando.
Back to back to back.
How does that work? Do they leave last night?
Yeah, because
after the game.
When Chris was talking during the game, he and Drew, Drew was like he had to go do something with John and Wes last night, and he said, "Man, that plane will leave us." So he said, "What I'm going to do? I'm going to go get J. Cole's new album. I'm going to warm the car. I'm going to be listening to that. You run out. We got to make this. We're going to make this plane tonight." So they left last night.
Now, assuming Drew could just run right over to the studio and or were they on the court? Or did Drew have to go to the studio?
He had to go to the studio, I think, because that's where Weston were.
So, dude, to get, just with security and everything,
it ain't going to cost. Drew don't have to worry about all that.
I understand that, but it is going to take you 5-10 minutes. If it's live, they got to wait for the segment. Hopefully it was taped. They could just knock it out. And then if C-Mill's downstairs waiting for him, they could get out to Dulles at that time of night.
Yeah. So, I mean,
they were all right.
He was just trying to make sure it wasn't going to be very, very long because he was like, that plane will leave us.
Right.
It's not like Trey or somebody else.
The plane's not leaving Keyshawn, but it'll leave us. Rich Wolf, if you're listening to the program, let us know if C-Mill and Drew made it safely to Orlando. Yeah, dude, so this is a stacked week for them, but it's Rockets last night, Orlando tonight in Orlando, then hosting Utah on Thursday. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if you picked this on purpose or not. Utah's bad, too. So you get Trae Young back on a night where
he can show his little stuff.
Right. I go back in time to 2019. Redskins start 0-5. Jay Gruden, I remember him leaving the Meadowlands when they dropped to 0-3, and he was looking around with this look on his face like, where's Bruce? When's he going to fire me? Mm-hmm. Then they hosted the Pats the next week, got absolutely boat raced, and again, he's looking around. But Bruce didn't fire Jay until he knew he had the Dolphins on the schedule to give Callahan a shot at a win.
There you go.
Right. So Callahan gets the job. Dolphins week, they're able to go down there, win. They defend a 2-point conversion late, which means they don't get a chance to draft Joe Burrow. If you want to go back in time.
Yeah.
Even with Dan Quinn, and I don't think he was of the same mindset, but DQ didn't fire Joe Witt when he had that stretch of 4 games when it was going the best offenses in the league. Mm-hmm. He waited till it was the Miami game, and he got a really bad Tua, and all of a sudden the defense looks better.
Yeah, it did.
People make decisions. I don't know if Trae Young's coming back because the Jazz are coming to town and they stink.
They just want to get him out there. But the thing about Trae, I listen to point guards, former guards from the league, and players that talk about him. They know this dude is a true baller. A lot of times the analysts they go overboard because maybe you didn't go do an interview with them or something. I don't give a damn. But I listen to the players talk about him. This dude can play, and he has to respect to them.
Totally.
If he's all in, he could be something special. Now I can tell you what make him get more all in. If AD decides he's all in, then you got something going there.
That's the interesting subplot in all
this.
Is Trae Young has seemed all in since the trade happened. And what do we know? We know that a member of the Wizards front office was with the Hawks when they drafted Trae Young. So there's a level of familiarity and trust, I would imagine. And I think Zach and Ted have done a really good job with Trae and with AD to reach out and tell them, listen, man, we're trying to do this right. We've got these young guys. We think adding you guys gives us a real chance going forward. You could see Trae Young's in. AD is taking his time.
But Trae is a point guard. You know what the point guard does? Lead.
Right.
So I'm trying to make sure you understand, bro. Can you see those dudes right there? Them two dudes working pick and rolls and all that different type of stuff.
Oh, at the same time, Trae Young's a good player. Like, he's made some all-star teams. Mm-hmm. Anthony Davis is on a different level. And he's able to take his time with his all-inness to make sure this is a real thing.